we got plenty of time. We got 15 minutes. We actually kick off games.
Cool.
Yeah, man, excited for this game. I think this today could actually be potentially the most dramatic day of the Euro so far.
Exactly. We got this group where everyone's coming in with 3 points, and then you essentially got Turkey and Czechia playing for their spot in the next round too. So I'm sure that'll be fun for the later stream.
Hell yeah, man! I'm excited. Yeah, I think we'll talk actually about both games probably in general today as we kind of go through it. But let me pull up the lineups for Belgium Ukraine today.
Yeah, I'm pulling up now, and I'm also going to put it on the Google Doc that I sent you if you want to have that on your computer.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, so what I did is I copy and pasted the lineups from last game. I'm just going to tweak the changes that were made right now.
Nice. Okay, cool. Man, I already made my predictions on the timeline earlier today, so people can hold receipts if they really want to.
Yeah.
I think that's fine with me though. I don't know, man. I got a feeling. I think Lukaku is overdue to step up in this tournament and be a force. I really think he's going to be. Hopefully, he scores today, man. I just think
and it's not for lack of trying. Like we've seen Lukaku where he's been gassed or not trying, and that hasn't been it. He's just been unable to get on the score sheet for whatever reason.
Agreed, man. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm going to go through my picks, actually, my player picks before this game starts. Because for me, man, I got to cash in on some of this. I lost big in Copa America last night, man. I'll be honest. It was tough.
Yeah, did you pick Peru?
No, I didn't make like team picks. I was doing player props, and I just thought for whatever reason, Argentina and Chile was going to end a little bit differently. I think Bravo having 8 saves was not on my bingo card.
Definitely not. 41-year-old Claudio Bravo.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Turning into the Chilean Buffon.
Yeah, seriously. I honestly, I just didn't see him saving that much. I thought Argentina would have a day, but 1-0, also not on my bingo card. Not that Chile's a bad team by any means, but it was just like not expected. Old heads. So
yeah.
But let me see, man. I backed Lukaku to get shots on target today, through and through.
Yeah, you'll get a couple at least.
Yeah.
Depends on what the prop is. Yeah.
Oh, not getting tackles more than 2. He had 2 against Slovakia, 3 against Romania. I feel like it's not a bad bet.
Yeah, that seems fine based on what I've seen him from Everton, for example.
Yeah. I think to say he'll get 3. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the over or the under. To say he'll get 3, right? I mean, in the Prem, yeah, he gets it easily most games. And he's done it. He's met that line every game so far in the Euros, and today will be a dogfight. I mean, it has to be against Ukraine. It just absolutely has to be. Let me see. Let me see who else Belgium has. More than this is like a real. I'm going to put that on there for now. We'll see what happens.
Interestingly, no Alexander Zinchenko in the starting lineup today. Instead, they went with another Everton player in Vitaly Mikolenko.
Wait, so they did not start Zinchenko today?
They did not start Zinchenko. I checked if he was moved up to midfield too, but no.
Wow, that's a big move.
That is a big move. I granted both Mikolenko and Zinchenko are Premier League quality left backs, but at the same time, Zinchenko can play midfield as well. So if you want your most talented players on the field, you could accommodate him.
Yeah, you could. Man, that's actually kind of crazy. I don't know if that changes a ton for me mentally with this team, but I feel like that's losing a pretty big piece. I wonder what's happening there. I wonder if
and they also changed their formation. It looks like to 5 at the back. I think they know that they're going for the point at least. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And they're expecting / hoping there's a winner in the Romania-Slovakia game, because then a point in this game would see both Ukraine and Belgium go through.
Okay. Well, now I don't know what to do for Ukraine then. Maybe I could focus on. Portugal's going to rotate today. Let me see who. I mean, Dovic getting a goal today, I have no idea. I think it's anybody's guess. Ukraine's been actually underwhelming so far in this tournament. I'll be honest.
There's no being around the bush that the loss to Romania, in any case, let alone 3-0, was disappointing. But hey, they bounced back. They did what they got to do against Slovakia. And we'll see. Belgium hasn't been faultless either.
Man, Dovbyk has not registered a shot on target yet in the Euros.
And that's been part of the problem.
That is insane.
They still believe in him. He's still in the starting lineup, but not Mikhailo Mudryk.
Interesting. Yaremchuk is starting today, right?
Yaremchuk. So, yeah, he's starting up top along with Dovbyk.
Okay. He's gotten shots off. I feel like that might be a safe bet. He's had a couple shots in total against both Romania and Slovakia.
Yes.
I feel like I might take that. And then I'm looking at the other game.
I'm going to do a Shesko prop.
Maybe.
Because somehow I think like his strike partner, Sporar, has kind of been getting more shots, at least in the Belgium game. That's what I noticed. I didn't see him again in the Ukraine game.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a wild card there.
Yeah, definitely a wild card. Let me see. So if I mean, Czechia and Turkey could actually be really interesting too, because Portugal's going to rotate today against Georgia. I don't really know what to expect on who.
Other than Ronaldo, for some weird reason.
Yeah,
this would be the game to rest him, and if you got to play him, play off the bench, sure, but like you don't need to start him.
Yeah, facts, big facts. Let me see.
So Belgium lineup. So they now changed back to a 4 at the back from their last game.
This is the only one? And no way. There's no way that's the only one. Okay, well, not doing Turkey. Let me see Portugal. And the lineups are already out for Portugal, right? Do we know who's starting?
And we don't know who's starting yet. That'll be like around 11.
Yeah,
my
okay.
time, so an hour before.
Yeah. So I honestly, I'd probably just keep the bets to this game because I just don't know who's going to end up rotating for Portugal. I'll be honest.
Exactly. Both of these teams, all the teams in this group in both games have a lot to play for, so they're going to go guns blazing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I think I'm going to lock this one in. Lukaku, De Bruyne, and Yaremchuk. I think these are safe bets. Oh, man. You know what? The Euros has been nicer to me than Copa America so far, but we will see what happens. Noah was in here earlier. This is going to be epic. Absolutely, man. The games today are going to be wild. And we're about 7 minutes away, lads. We got they're showing Romania Slovakia right now, but we're definitely going to tune into to Ukraine Belgium. We'll pay attention to both.
It's also kinder for you too in Texas because you can have more of a morning before these games, especially now that it's just the 2 time slots. I was able to get my workout in, and that was it.
Yeah, seriously. No, I used to live on West Coast, man. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I used to live in Seattle, and oh my god, watching the Prem at 4 a.m. for Arsenal games, or like whatever it would have been. Oh,
for the early slot, yeah.
It was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
The Universal, like 3 p.m. local start time for them, 7 a.m. for the West Coast. It's manageable for me because I'm a morning person, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you, bro. Yeah, so Central Time, man, it's good for it's a pretty nice time zone games wise, unless the games run late, right? And so like when MLS has the West Coast games, it's like
for NBA playoffs, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. But when MLS does like the night games, right? You know, whether it's the Galaxy playing, Portland, San Jose, whoever, I'm up until midnight. So it's just kind of it is what it is.
So just the one change personnel wise for Belgium, Leandro Trossard, the Arsenal player, gets to start ahead of Dodi Lukebakio.
Interesting. Actually, I like Trossard starting more, not as a second striker, which I think he's been doing for Belgium. I feel like him having he's not the most pacey winger, but I feel like his attacking mentality, and it's not said enough, man. Trossard's efficiency in front of goal is like next to none. I mean, like it's insane actually when you think about it. He knows how to score goals, and so maybe that'll help take a little bit of pressure off Lukaku. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But this man has to score today. There's no way Lukaku doesn't score in the group stage for Belgium.
Yeah.
There's
if not, maybe he gets an assist with his hold-up play, combines with like a Doku or something. But yeah, he's got to be involved for Belgium to win this game.
Agreed, man. I'm about to pound so much coffee though. And then I go to a workout after these games. Actually,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, what I did is I did a Stairmaster for some cardio, and then I lifted, and yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's what I did for my workout today.
I love it, man. I literally had to jump right into work this morning, but just to get some things done before we started, man, because you never know. But wait, so this game, here's what we could do. Do we want to sync up games at all or no?
As in, one of us watch one game, one of us watch the other?
Yeah, we can. If you want to do it that way. Otherwise, we could just do Ukraine, Belgium all the way through.
I'm fine. My preference would be to watch Ukraine, Belgium.
Let's do that then. Let's do that then.
Yeah.
That's my preference too, to be honest. Nothing against Romania, right? And
we're just familiar with these players a bit more. Like
Yeah.
just looking at the lineups for Slovakia, for example. Sure, we've watched our fair share of like Dubravka in the Premier League when he started for Newcastle before Pope came in. Skriniar for PSG, Stanislav Lubuka for Napoli, but the rest of the players are a bit more of a mystery for me.
Yeah, I hear that.
Although they've done very well so far from the games I've watched.
Facts, man. Facts. What's going on, guys? Catch the Borefest England game, man. I'll tell you, bro. It's and by the way, I don't know if you guys saw the breaking news today. Phil Foden, about to have his third child, has to head home.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. So So there was like a pressing matter, but then I think Fab leaked that it was actually his child's getting ready to be born. So like, I don't know how temporary that leave is. I don't know if he only misses a game, and hopes to God that England make it through and that they come back. But it's not a given, right? Because
the good news is they don't play on Saturday. That's the first round of 16 fixture, so they know that for sure.
Yeah.
So I think he's banking on it might be a race against time.
Yeah, race against time, but also like on the side of the bracket they fall on, there's just no guarantee England has any easy games from here on out, right? Like it's kind of wild. So it's not like, I'm nothing against Switzerland or Italy, but that matchup is very different than like, I don't know who England's going to play first. I don't know if it's France or Portugal or
somebody.
They
will play a third place team from groups D through F. So it's possible that a team we're watching today could end up being their opponent on Sunday. So England are locked into the early fixture in Gelsenkirchen on Sunday, June 30th.
And how crazy would it be? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's been crazier storylines, right? How crazy would it be if this game ended in a draw and Belgium somehow ended up in third? Like a Belgium-England game would be insane.
I don't think Belgium can end up in third if they draw. I think it would require them to lose.
Yeah.
And then there would have to be a winner in the other game. If Ukraine win and then somehow they draw in the other game, then Belgium are out completely. So
yeah, I know. Belgium has to win.
There's so many weird scenarios here.
Yeah, they have to win. But yeah, Mission Bro, that game, man. I guess if England have to play without Foden, maybe now it's the Cole Palmer show a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, man. I mean, I haven't seen a manager ripped apart this hard during a tournament since like maybe 2010 France.
Yeah, I think Berhalter is Southgate's biggest fan. It's like, keep cooking. Let them talk about you and not me.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're equally pragmatic in a negative way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, actually.
For those wondering about the lineups for Slovakia, Romania, Slovakia just made the one change up top to their striker. Otherwise, it's the same lineup that they played against both Belgium and Ukraine. And in Romania's lineup, just going through that, no changes to their back line, the goalkeeper and the defensive midfielder, or their center mid partnership. I think their only changes were to both their wingers. So pretty standard stuff there, which makes sense. I think every team in this group is trusting most of their players have gotten them to this point.
Yeah. I agree, man. I'm not gonna lie. I really want to see Amadou Onana ball in this game. Biggest reason why is because he's linked to both my favorite European teams, in both Barcelona and Arsenal. So
yeah, either way,
man. I just need to see what he can realistically do. Because I don't know, man. I feel like he's gonna get a big move this summer. It's just a matter of where. So we'll find out. But I really want to see this man ball. If he stays in the Prem with Arsenal, I'll be happy. I think it's the more natural fit. I think if he were to go to Barcelona, it would be so 50-50. Like, I don't
And
know.
Arsenal's the more stable choice right now.
Yeah, by far. We have yet to see flick ball at Barcelona. I guess we'll see what that looks like in the preseason, but it's crazy, man. I really want to see this man ball today. England have been lethargic and lacking creativity. The only area of the pitch they performed reasonably well is defense, which was the concern majority. I agree actually with this take wholeheartedly.
Yes, I agree as well.
I still think defensively though, Mission, they're it's not that it's not a concern. It's just not as glaring of an issue as how lateral they've been in the midfield, how lackluster they've been moving forward and creating chances. The holes in the back, there's not really like a major hole. They've done fairly well, but Trippier to me is like a shell of himself. I think he's like almost non-existent in terms of like being able to offer real value on the left flank to Phil Foden. If Palmer starts out there, like Palmer's really going to have to understand that he's probably on an island because Trippier is right-footed. He's not going to overlap and offer a ton of threat. I think this is why Ian Wright went out, and he got a lot of flack for it on the timeline, but just said that maybe we start Saka at left back. As an Arsenal fan, I don't want to see one of, I guess, arguably one of the best, if not the best winger for England at this moment moving into the left back position, but he knows how to play it and can offer a lot moving forward that Trippier cannot. So
yeah,
maybe, I don't know, man, but yeah, it's crazy how
I think it's also big
boring
team
this game
bias
is.
too. Big team bias. Like Trippier, he plays for Newcastle, and they're kind of like, along with Villa, they're like that next tier below the traditional big six.
Yeah.
But other than Eberechi, and I guess they also brought in, never mind. They brought in a few Crystal Palace players, but yet they overlooked another one in Tyreek Mitchell, who is a natural left back that had been playing, whereas Luke Shaw has been out for a long time. That was a big gamble. Where are you really going to gamble for Luke Shaw at this point? Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, I agree. And like Luke Shaw played 12 games this season. Yeah. It would have been difficult. Tyreek Mitchell's actually a fantastic shout, by the way.
Yeah. What I literally did is I sorted out Premier League players by position, like just trying to see like how far down the list, like are England really that star for left back that they were going to gamble on Luke Shaw and then try a right back and left back. But no, there was a few quality players that were left out. But Southgate very much sticks to a lot of his players. That while there were a few surprise inclusions from Crystal Palace compared to usual from teams outside of that sphere of clubs he selects from, as it looks like Ukraine are off to the better start here, that he really does stay rigid in some of those selections.
Yeah, I agree, man. Tyreek Mitchell, I think that would have been really interesting to see him and Mark Gahey play in the England side together. I think that would have been
short corner for Ukraine here. This is an interesting choice.
Ooh.
Because they're a pretty tall team, Ukraine. Like, they could be whipping balls into the box, and I get Belgium have some physical guys as well, but
no, they're beatable. They're beatable. I mean, Foss as a center back, very beatable in the air, and then you look at Vertonghen. I mean, just based on sheer age, you got to imagine that at some point Dovbyk could challenge him as well.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that I agree with you. They should be whipping more balls in to just create dangerous opportunities.
This is Belgium's first real possession, and Fez did well to hold possession there. That was a good tackle from Dovbyk.
Yeah. He came in hot.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where a lot of the question marks for Belgium as their in-between generations come in. That's a place where you usually see players like Vincent Kompany, Toby Alderweireld, or even some other guys that have featured over the years, Jason Denayer even. And now you're giving opportunities to these players. And while Wapfest is one of the best players for Leicester City, they were just coming in from the Championship back to the Premier League. So it's a bit of step up in quality in these international tournaments.
I agree, man. Jason Denayer, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah, he played for Olympique Lyon for a while, and he's kind of been like that perennial next center back. Had a Vertonghen, Alderweireld, the company been injured, so never got too many of those opportunities before his peak days were behind him.
Yeah, absolutely.
How it is sometimes. You think of Salvatore Sirigu, that Italian goalkeeper from PSG. His peak was during, like many Italian goalkeepers, during the Buffon era. So.
Yeah, he's a low key name that not many people know actually. Oh man.
Belgium get the ball back quickly from that goal kick from Ukraine, and that's been another concern for Ukraine. They started Lunin for the first game. He had a really poor performance against Romania, and then they went with the Benfica goalkeeper Trubin for these last two group games, but that distribution was not great.
Yeah, you got to imagine that Real Madrid fans see that and probably thinking they're lucky stars that Ancelotti decided to go with Courtois for the final and not Lunin. Nothing wrong with Lunin. I think he had a great tournament, but
it was just a bad game. Maybe he was due for a bad game because he was really good all season.
Yeah, true.
But the decision was also, fortunately for the manager, made for him because of the illness situation. Otherwise, it would be a very, very tough decision.
Yeah, I agree. It's so hard to bench Courtois, though. I mean, but with that said, Belgium do it game in and game out in the Euros. So Castile's
good run by Arthur Thiet there.
Yeah,
away from the back line there. That's good verticality from the fullbacks that you'd expect from both Thiet and Castagne.
Good, Lukaku, good.
Yeah. Let's see what Belgium can do here. De Bruyne trying to find Doku.
Unlucky.
Yeah, but goes out for a throw-in. So Timchuk took care of business there.
De Bruyne.
Doku. All right, Doku. Matchup nightmare for any opposing fullback.
Seriously.
Yeah. And you got to think if Belgium are to continue being in that top 8 European nation conversation beyond the De Bruyne and Lukaku era, that Doku is going to be that guy to continue that next wave of talent.
Yeah, you would imagine so.
And I like to see those players that are kind of on the fringes of City because they have so many talented players be vital components for their national teams, like Doku and Alvarez for Argentina, that their managers have seen enough of them in limited minutes compared to some other players for a big club. And they're at this big club for a reason. They're able to contribute to a title-winning machine in the Premier League. Yeah, we can count on them for our national team.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, here he goes. Ooh.
Trossard, nice.
I'm telling you, man. Feed Lukaku, man. I need a shot.
Can get it going. You rarely see him get out muscled.
Yeah, very rarely. I mean, I think it's first 5 minutes, you'll see a little bit of that, but as the game wears on, I think his physicality will be much more imposing, and he'll be significantly more difficult to deal with.
So
6'3", 205 is no joke.
Yeah, 6'3", 205. That is like an NBA, NFL, NHL
that's
player.
A massive man.
Florida Panthers.
That's a massive man.
Yeah.
Hey, Hondo, what's good, bro? I see you're in here. Traffic jam on the train tracks. Hey, man, well, you can watch us while you're in that traffic jam all day, of course. Drive safely. Drive safely.
I commiserate as a NorCal guy myself. The traffic isn't quite as bad as SoCal, but it's getting there. Maybe give us 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, California in general, bro.
Yeah.
Trossard, dancing around, good. Just lays it
so
back
this has been a good spell possession for Belgium, even in their defensive half. They look really composed, not a lot of panic. They're just doing their thing, although Ukraine is starting to pressure a lot. Trossard being pushed way back.
You can tell Ukraine are coming for this game. Like right now, you can tell that they know what's on the line and they're being aggressive. And equally so, I wonder how long they could keep this up. But I wonder also equally on Belgium's side how long they'll continue to soak up pressure. De Bruyne into Lukaku. Oh,
Lukaku. Oh,
that's a shot on target.
Not a good shot.
Not a good shot.
That is a shot.
Yeah, it is a shot. It's a shot for player props perspective. Yeah.
There we go. That's the only
dub right there.
Shot.
Yeah, that's the only dub right there. How did he hit this? Like,
no, he just whiffed it even.
Yeah, it's right in his path. Like, how did he? I don't know. That was weird. It was a very Lukaku-esque.
That's still a good early sign for Belgium in the first 7 minutes of this game.
Yeah. I guess getting a shot's still positive. It's still more positive than not registering a shot, but still. There
is a non-zero chance that we get a rare 4 points across the board spread in this group. That's only happened one other time that I can think of in the 1994 World Cup hosted by the USA. That's the group that Mexico topped, Ireland were in second, Italy third, and Norway got left out due to their lack of goal scoring. All of them finished on 4 points. Each of them beat each other. It was a square of wins, and then they tied another game. So that would be a wild outcome if that happens here.
Whenever I hear Lukaku in this tourney, don't expect it on target. Bro, I actually think it's the opposite. I think Lukaku's good at getting shots on target. He's just the unluckiest striker in the world in terms of like converting the actual chance. Like, I don't know, man. They're like what we just saw. He whiffs it, keeper collects it easily, or he rips it point blank at where the keeper is standing, and it's still not a goal.
And we've seen that when he's on fire, he's cooking with gas. Like, he had some incredible goal scoring seasons. I can think of Everton, for example. That's where he really turned into a goal scoring machine. That was Lukaku at his finest.
Yeah, I think he was also one of the highest goal scorers in the qualifying for the Euros. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that is very true.
He like, going into this tournament, he was in good form, both club and country, and then that first game, I don't know, maybe affected his confidence a little bit because how many goals have been called back from VAR? 3 for Lukaku?
At least 2, maybe 3.
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
So you got to feel like at some point that starts to affect your confidence a little bit.
Yeah, it was 2 against Slovakia, 1 against Romania.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, if you missed the old Euros format from 2012 and prior, when there were only 16 teams that qualified for the tournament, you kind of get that in now the expanded FIFA World Cup qualifying situation for UEFA. 16 teams qualify from Europe. So you kind of get that old school Euro feel where, like, while 24 is certainly fine, there's certainly a lot of good teams in Europe. You really get the solid teams, even with expanding from 13 to 16 in Europe, which, when you think of it, is not too much, but it's also to accommodate. You want more teams getting in from other places like Asia and Africa and South America.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Foul on Doku there.
Yeah.
His quickness is going to be a problem.
Yeah, his change of direction, like, that is very difficult to deal with.
Man, I can only imagine how impactful was going to be at City this season.
Early in that game, 10 minutes in, I can see why the referee wouldn't give a yellow, just trying to warn the players, like, hey, knock it off.
Yep.
But that could have been a yellow, perhaps.
Who was he? I guess he was trying to find Doku.
And as you could tell with what I'm wearing Ukraine colors through my Warriors jacket.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was intentional or not.
It was intentional, if nothing else, because, like, I did expect Ukraine to get out of this group, and they definitely made it hard on themselves with that first result against Romania. So We'll see if they can get the job done.
Oh, Trossard, almost the ball's almost
They're heading him away, but that's a lot of pressure.
Get
there. Like we're seeing so far with Belgium. You're getting Onana involved there, keeping the attack alive, but now Ukraine have a chance to play it out. This is Mikolenko.
Yeah, him and Onana, teammates.
Yeah.
Going at it today.
Right.
See, but look at this. So I like this. I actually like this pressure Lukaku's putting on, but he has to keep waving his teammates to help him. I feel like we're just not seeing the same urgency from Belgium that we are from Ukraine.
Yeah, you can see Doku pushing the tempo for sure.
Ooh, unlucky on that ball.
Yeah, so right now Ukraine, they're bending but not breaking, but that was a bad giveaway.
Yeah.
Let's see what can be done here. And then De
Bruyne, you could tell, wanted it feet. He wanted it feet. He didn't want to be played into space. He wanted to control that. It's unfortunate. Doku misread that.
Right. And still nothing from Slovakia, Romania. We'll check on them maybe every 10 minutes or so.
I think that game's actually going to be very low scoring. I'm expecting that one. I predicted a 1-1, but I could totally see a 0-0. Only because, like, if we don't have a goal by, let's say, the 65th, 70th minute, I think both teams start to just protect the clean sheet that they have or protect whatever points they have on the table and just walk out of there and guarantee that they get 4 points in this group.
Right. Bruyne, that was a good chance, but goes up for goal kick.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're thinking about pre-tournament expectations for both Romania and Slovakia, it's just to get out of the group. Like, they'll take that. They don't care if they face one of the juggernauts of the tournament in the round 16. It's like, oh, yeah, we got out of the group, and whatever happens after that, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, this game is packed, man. And it's, I'm not going to say it's night and day with like Copa America. It's just Copa America, it's different because they're playing in NFL stadiums essentially, and of course the ticket prices in America are ridiculous, and so Just a
Yeah,
much different look and feel when you see on the TV. Oh man, that ball was
that would
almost
be a
there.
corner. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was thinking about going to the Venezuela Ecuador game last weekend. That would have been in Levi's Stadium, and I had to do the calculations. So the best tickets I could find, there was very few tickets left that would be like a central location in the upper levels where you
yeah,
get a good view of the field. They were a minimum $80 a piece. Parking at Levi's Stadium is 50. You gotta account for like whatever food you're gonna get there too,
yep,
and it does rack up pretty fast all those expenses. Like the game day experience is no joke. So ultimately, I just ended up watching that game at home
yeah.
with my wife, and
I can't blame you at all, man. I'd say same thing at AT&T. I was thinking about going to U.S. Bolivia, and it's in my backyard. And I looked at the tickets. I think the lowest actually might have been closer to 100.
right,
And this is not central. This is like probably top, closer to the rafters than anything else. And I think parking was like 65. And
right.
then you have the food and drink, right? I was like, I'm not gonna drop $200-300 on just one game. Like, there's no way.
Last night, the Canada-Peru game that was played in Children's Mercy Park. So that's a soccer-specific stadium. And
Yep.
while it wasn't sold out, it was still like it felt cozier. It felt like okay, you could feel like both sets of fans they were involved in the match. So that's kind of where we're at with these soccer stadiums. They're not big enough yet that we can expect them to fill week in week out basis in most MLS clubs if we do a 40,000 and 50,000, but they're big enough where like they can accommodate a friendly match. But for a World Cup match, no one is going to USA to host a World Cup so they could play games at PayPal Park, for example. They
Yeah.
want to play at Levi's Stadium. They
Agreed.
wanted to play at Stanford in 1994, so that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree, man. Well, 2026, we'll see what happens. Long ball from Ukraine. Defended
And
well.
headed out for a throw. Okay, that's better from Ukraine, making them ask questions of the defense there.
The Ukraine's slowing it down a little bit. Now I think they're trying
That's
to.
the speed they want. Belgium want it fast. Ukraine want to slow it down.
Yeah.
What Ukraine have been able to accomplish in the last few years has been nothing short of incredible. They were a game away from qualifying for the 2022 World Cup. They ended up losing out narrowly to Wales. And then they managed to qualify for this tournament. And it's been a really difficult situation for everyone involved. And just seeing the Ukraine fans here in Germany, many of which have been displaced into Germany, this is what you watch football for, especially at the international level, these stories to learn about the culture and the history of these teams and to appreciate, what they're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. You see these live standings? Romania, as it stands today, if everybody nets out 4, Romania tops the group.
That loss to Romania by a 3-goal margin right now is proving costly. So you got to get as many points as possible for Ukraine.
What a ball by Trossard.
Yep. Here's feet at the edge of the box.
Tielemans, nope. De Bruyne. Belgian ball.
Yeah, maybe Kevin De Bruyne a couple years ago would be able to make something happen from that one-on-one situation.
I still think he'll have some say in terms of the offensive prowess. So I think he'll register a couple shots today.
Right, but he can't be as aggressive as he used to be. He has to be more strategic.
Yeah, I agree.
Ukraine on a counterattack, although Belgium have enough players back to deal with it. He should get to it. No, he doesn't. Ukraine's able to keep it going.
Yep, Dobic gets there. There you go. Ukraine just moving it around, being patient.
Mm-hmm. And then they're reminding us today, later on, Georgia versus Portugal on Fox, Czechia versus Turkey, FS1. And
Czechia versus Turkey is going to be good.
Yeah. Of course, the name brand of Ronaldo, they have to put all his games on Fox whenever possible. But the game of more consequence is on FS1.
Yeah. And I think Czechia will win that one, but I think there will be goals. I think there will be. I think Czechia was so unfortunate in their previous game. I think their XG was close to 3, and they only netted out 1 goal. So it was it was one of those where I don't know. I had some big expectations for Sheik, considering that Patrick Schick was I believe he was the leading goal scorer in the last Euros.
Yeah, and then you also have his partner from Leverkusen, Hlojek, and then the West Ham duo of Kufal and Sushek. So that experience is why I'm leaning toward Czechia, even though they're coming in with 1 point compared to Turkey, who have 3. I feel like they could win that game, but if Turkey can find a way to stick around and get the draw, then good on them as well.
Yeah.
They were a very popular pick in the last Euros to be dark horse, but then they finished bottom of the group with Italy, Switzerland, and Wales, which it wasn't as surprising to me as it was for a lot of people, because Wales was very strong in the tournament prior to that, and Switzerland, as we were reminded this edition of the Euros, are always in the mix to get out of the knockout stage. They're a very solid team. They're always in that tier below that top 8 of Europe, where they have a lot of players that play in those big leagues, just missing that star power to be in that next tier and to go further.
Yeah, I agree. Honda's finally moving. Good shit, man.
Nice.
That Cali traffic is wild.
Yeah, 35 minutes in a standstill. Wow.
Yeah, North Cal might be where it's at.
That's about double the time that's taking place in this game, approaching the 20th minute.
Yep. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I thought we'd see at least another, maybe an extra shot or so from either side.
It's starting to settle down a bit. I think both teams are starting to try to figure out what their best approach is. Be more pragmatic with the ball and try to find for those openings. And no one's blinking right now.
It seems cautious. I just want to see. I'm more on the Belgium side. I think with Ukraine, I feel like they're doing what. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there's a shot there.
Exactly. That's what I want to see. I want to see a little bit more testing of Casteels. I think he's a great keeper. I just feel like they haven't really tested him in this game yet. That's a great shot.
Right. And that's why, obviously, it's ridiculous they didn't call up Courtois. If he was good enough to play a Champions League final, he's good enough to at least be one of the 3 keepers for Belgium. But Casteels is one of the better number 2 goalkeepers you could have at the international level.
I agree. Here we go.
Ukraine,
play him again. Dovic's going to shoot it. Oh, Dovic, no wonder you don't have a shot on target this tournament.
He knows he should have done better there. Disappointing from the Golden Boot winner of La Liga with Girona.
He was so clinical in La Liga this season. So clinical.
And you have to be. Like, Girona were fantastic, obviously, but you do expect them to not be the possession winners among the traditional top 4, top 6 teams in La Liga, and yet they were able to do better than a lot of them. So
that's wild.
And part of that was his clinical nature of his finishing, Artem Dovbyk.
Yep. I feel like maybe if that was going to be the end product, maybe he should have just found a way to get the ball back to Yaremchuk and see what he could do, because that was a rough shot. But
a bit of a wake-up call there for Belgium. After they've been the dominant team for much of this game, they've allowed Ukraine to have a few waves of attacks, and now they've got to be very careful, because it is not out of the realm of possibility that Belgium are completely out if things go horribly wrong today. So they are not out of the woods.
Yo, what's good? Welcome in, lads. Welcome in. We're about 21 minutes into the stream, into the game itself. Ukraine, I would say right now have the upper hand, man. I've definitely registered more
starting to shift in Ukraine's favor.
Yeah, which is a problem if you're a Belgium fan. I think just the expectations for this team coming in after losing to Slovakia, I think you maybe thought that would be a massive wake up call. Hasn't really translated to that just yet.
So if you had to pick one team that didn't even make this Euro tournament to surprise and qualify for the next World Cup, for me, I feel like the most likely candidate to make that jump up would be Norway.
I literally was going to say I think most fans would want to say it's Norway because of the 2-star talents they have on that roster, right?
And some of the other supporting players are pretty decent themselves.
Yeah,
Sorloth from Villarreal. Julian Rierson from Dortmund.
Mm-hmm.
They've got themselves a nice little team, Norway, that they ended up losing out on qualification, finishing below Scotland, which a lot of people were questioning. Well, if this is the yeah, there we go, Belgium. That was more like it for them.
Yeah. I think if they had found Lukaku, maybe he finds a way to notch that in.
Here. What's he going to do? Okay. He gets it all to his left. And it ends. That's not the guy you want shooting it.
No, not that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, that's definitely not the guy you want shooting.
Yeah. I mean, it reminded me of that early Nuno Mendes shot that Portugal had in their opening game against Czechia.
Yeah. Great ball by Castagna. It's just unfortunate it didn't get there to Lukaku.
And we got a goal in the Slovakia-Romania game. It's Slovakia who scored first.
Wow.
In the 24th minute.
Maybe that opens things up now for Slovakia's perspective. Slovakia up 1-0. I think most fans would say that they probably had Romania, probably notching the first goal in that one, just considering how they performed so far.
The team with the biggest margin of victory in this group could be on the outside looking in now. Wow. It's Andrzej Duda. You may know him from being a Bundesliga regular during his peak with Hertha Berlin. He's coming up big in this game early on. 25 minutes into that game.
Man, Slovakia
are top of the group.
How many predictions did we see pre-tournament having Slovakia finishing probably fourth in this group?
Yeah, for me, I think maybe I had them third, but I felt like most people thought Slovakia and Romania were interchangeable. And maybe it's just simply because of the leagues that we're more exposed to, whether from a US, UK perspective, those kinds of spheres. I don't see a lot of those Slovakian Romanian players. Like Romania only have one player in the Premier League, that's Dragoshin, and he wasn't a regular starter for Tottenham. So not a lot of familiarity there, but there it goes. Slovakia are in the best spot in Group E right now.
That's crazy. Oh, Trossard. No.
Desperate for Wales to qualify. We recently fired a manager. Rumors replacing with Ocean Roberts, who along with Cesc Fabregas got Como promoted.
Yeah,
that would be great. I think Wales are certainly in the mix. They can make that jump up similar to Norway. They're very close to qualifying for this tournament as well, Wales. And they qualified for the last World Cup. Maybe didn't have the showing that they hoped for, but they were kind of in a difficult spot for them. England and USA are difficult opponents in that group as well as Iran. But Wales made that group very tough as well. They drew with the USA. Wales are a good team. I would love to see them in the World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they've had some fantastic players come to that national team. I'll be honest, some fantastic.
And if Wales get to the World Cup and play a game in LA, they may have a few more supporters than expected from the Gareth Bale days at LAFC.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
They won an MLS Cup with him, so why not?
And in epic fashion, for those who aren't aware. One of the best MLS Cup finals we've seen in quite some time.
Right. So, yeah, we're with you there. Wales are a solid team.
Yeah.
They have some young talent, too, as well. I like to see them through. And you see a lot of Wales players coming through the academies across the Premier League and the Championship. And maybe if a Cardiff City, more likely than a Swansea City at this point, can find themselves in a promotion battle in the next championship season, that would do a lot of wonders for Wales as well. Of course, the big story with Wales at the club level being Wrexham. We'll see what division they're in by the time the next World Cup comes around.
Yeah.
But really exciting times for Welsh football.
Oh, Nana's moving me. I ain't going to lie, bro. He looks good. He looks good for 25.
What's your name? Good for Belgium there. Headed away by Ukraine. And now Ukraine are going to try to weather the storm here.
Oh, 60 million look kind of nice. Here's the thing, Hoffit, is that they're not going to charge 60 million, bro. They're probably going to charge upwards of 70. And that's where I start to feel like, what could we do with 70 million, even if it's paid over, spread out over multiple seasons? I don't know.
Not a good ball. Oh, they're going to make it? Okay.
Hit it first time.
Hit it.
Why'd you hesitate?
Whoa, no. Why'd you hesitate?
No, bro, come on, man. Why hesitate?
A lot of finishing to be desired.
Oh, the cutback was perfect. He just needed to smack that first time.
Yeah, not great finishing. That's the one thing that's missing from this game. Both teams getting opportunities. They're making some good passes to get into dangerous situations, but that last finish, just nope.
Yeah, 70 million's outrageous. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if Everton would come down to 60, I wouldn't even be mad at that. And we spread that fee out if possible. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. But I just don't see it.
PL plus Euros tax is in effect. Bournemouth is valuing Milos Kerkez, the Hungarian left back, at 50 million. And I'm like,
what?
I don't know about that.
There's no way he's valued at that much.
No, maybe like 30 million, maybe.
At least my Dovbyk flopping prediction looking hella nice. Yeah. I don't know, man. I really didn't see Dovbyk flopping this hard. I thought maybe in the game he would be kind of nervous a little bit, misfire, but he literally doesn't even have a shot on target in this tournament yet.
How about tonight on FS1, Ecuador versus Jamaica? Ecuador have to come out guns blazing against Jamaica to keep their Copa America alive. And then Venezuela versus Mexico, both those teams 3 points when they probably looked like two of the less impressive teams. At least Jamaica's team on paper looks good. And then Ecuador, a lot of people are tipping them to go on a run in the Copa America.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to flop next season as well, wherever he plays. Bookmark it. Dovbyk, I mean,
Barcelona don't sign him from Girona.
Yeah, definitely not. I know, but man, there were like rumors that he should have been like, Arsenal need a striker, that they should have been targeting Dovbyk, that Chelsea should be looking at him. I was like, man, I want to see it for more than one season. But he profile wise, he looks like almost the prototype for a striker.
If Girona Dovbyk shows up next season, that wouldn't be the worst successor to Robert Lewandowski in Barcelona, if you think about it.
Yeah, like I said, I think
Lamine Yamal is going to be a winger.
Yeah, but we have Vitor Roque.
Oh, you got Vitor Roque too, Brazilian.
Yeah. I think striker's not going to be a position we reinforce. I really don't believe so. But
Vitor Roque versus Endrick in Clásicos 3 years from now.
I know, man. It's gonna be wild. I honestly, I feel like there's a lot of hype around Endrick, and I don't know if he'll be able to deliver, but we'll find out. We'll definitely find out.
I was just thankful that he was coming off the bench for Brazil, because there's a lot of negativity surrounding Brazil right now. I don't want Endrick to be a part of that, and he's still very young, and they do have enough talent. Granted, missing that out-and-out number 9, I like him better. As coming off the bench, he could be a game changer in that sense. It's less pressure for the 17-year-old.
Agreed.
So Belgium, once again, let's see what they can do here. Tielemans and Onana in the center of it all. Ukraine holding firm, not giving them too many options, pushing him back.
Well, somebody's to help him out. There you go.
Nice Trossard.
Man, Lukaku is getting bodied right now.
But Lukaku feels like there was more to it.
It's a foul.
Pulling his left thigh.
I think he's fine. I think ultimately he's probably fine. Just gotta walk that one off. But
you got Mikaleko got nutmegged by that pass by Trossard, but then
Zinchenko would have been megged too. Let's be honest. He would have gotten megged there too.
Right.
He's good. You're good, Lukaku. You're good.
Power. A bit of wind back in his sails, perhaps.
They need to find this man in the box.
So the referee initially played advantage, but once there's no advantage, now Belgium got the free kick. So it wasn't a play on. Ukraine got away with it. It was a play on. Belgium tried to advance it. Otherwise, it would be a free kick.
Lukaku needs to get another shot, and I think I'm good on my picks. I don't know if you saw this. Haaland 2025. I think if Barca gets Haaland in 2025, man, our midfield will need to be on point, because I feel like Erling Haaland is one of those strikers that absolutely needs fantastic players.
Is Barcelona's finances in that good of a position now?
I think we're making moves that would allow the club to be in a pretty good position financially. The Nike deal is going to be probably one of the most prominent ones.
Right.
Spotify also investing in the club again, as of this morning that I read.
And then maybe somehow you could cash in Lewandowski to either MLS or Saudi.
Yeah, there's that. We're also going to, I think, drop a good amount of deadwood as well on the team. So there's some funds coming in for sure, but we'll have to sell players.
And I think to the Chinese Super League if you can get a time machine back to 2015.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, here we go with the lasers.
Oh, no. Yeah, I hate that.
They're making an appearance. So they're back. Lukaku gets memed so much, man. I think the national team would love to have him in the squad. I agree. He gets memed so much though because he does miss quite a bit in these tournaments. Oh,
we went direct for goal. Side netting to the left side.
I can't believe he went for that. I can't believe he went for that. That is
the stones to go for that. That's a tough angle. Truman might have had it covered, but he asked questions of the Benfica goalkeeper.
I respect it. I think there's a lot of audacity that goes into that type of shot, and he almost got it.
Yeah, but how many national teams in these tournaments that we've watched the last couple of weeks where has been the discussion, they don't have a true number 9, there's a lot of competition, but Lukaku, a quality player like him at that position, there's no competition. You can have him there and you're settled.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, right? It's the same reason he's gotten all these big moves in his career. Is because he a prototype, in terms of like just the physical specimen that he is, he offers a lot. There's a lot of value he brings, but the one thing he'll always be judged on more than anything else is his effectiveness in front of goal. And I think at the club level, he excels, provided that it's not a big, a giant,
and he's
giant
limited
brand.
The opportunities for other good strikers Belgium have had over the years. You think of Michy Batshuayi, Christian Benteke, Dries Mertens.
Oh, dude, Dries was so underrated. I think the streets will never forget Dries Mertens, man. Had an absolutely pelter.
Contributions to Napoli, very much important. Ukraine here? Oh, that was dangerous there.
By Onana. I think he just meant to get in front, but it looks like he tripped him.
He handles it in the end there.
Oh, Onana steps in like at the last second, almost fouls him.
Yeah, that last shot coming in from Georgi Sudakov, the 21-year-old from Shakhtar. A lot of great players coming in from that Shakhtar Dynamo Kiev factory.
Man, I'm not going to lie. I kind of see what Barca Boy was saying, man. When I watch Onana play, the way he glides across the field is actually very impressive. How much ground he covers.
Very complete midfielder. Like you think of a lot of those quality midfielders in the Premier League, whether it be Steven Gerrard or N'Golo Kante, they're just complete. Whatever they're asked of, they can accomplish it.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild that he's just, again, making that move from Everton. And I think Everton will probably lose. The two big players they'll probably lose this summer, him as well as Jared Braithwaite.
And Everton have had some highs in the Premier League. You think of the early 2010s, the question each season had been Everton are like one move away from breaking into the top 6. What's going to happen to get them there? And then they started to fall away from that conversation over the last few seasons. Thankfully, they maintained their Premier League status. A penalty for Romania. Okay.
Wow. Did not see that. Yeah, I just saw the chat. Penalty for Romania. Man.
I'm going to just flip over, see what's going on.
Yeah, feel free. I'll keep posting on this game. Let me know who takes it.
I just flipped over and it's already scored. I believe it's Marin who scored it for Romania. 1-1. So now it's 1-1.
This was the exact scoreline I predicted. So it really, man, it's crazy. That game is delivering on another level when you compare it to Belgium and Ukraine.
I'm going to take a look at the replay here in a moment and see how that penalty shot went. A lot of celebrations from a large contingent of Romanian fans there in this game. Okay, so let's see. They came in from the right side. Oh, but it looked like the foul was on the edge, right on the line.
Doku.
That's a very interesting call to give that a penalty. But then once the penalty happens, Marin hits it, top bins to the goalkeeper's left. No, goalkeeper's right, sorry. No chance. The goalkeeper went the other way, Dubravka. Brilliant penalty, sure. Maybe a questionable call to give it. I had to get a closer look at that one. But
that might be
well done, Romania. You cashed in on a penalty, which aren't guaranteed goals. Lewandowski missed his on the first attempt yesterday. But
oh, my God.
Went off his line early, retaking it. He scored from there. So it's 1-1 between – and now we're back – all on 4 points again.
Yep. Romania top of the group again. Slovakia back in third.
And what helps Romania solidify their top of the group spot is their goals for tally.
I agree,
That
man.
appears to be the tiebreaker right now because both Romania and Belgium have the same goal difference, and that's going to remain the case if the scores remain level.
Long ball by Ukraine. It might get there. Nope, it's over.
All right, then. So we're back focusing on Ukraine, Belgium. About 7 minutes left before we find out there's any additional stoppage time. I don't imagine there's going to be too much. I think they're going to tack on a minute, maybe.
Maybe two, but like yeah, there really haven't been hardly any stoppages this entire game.
I'm sure there might be 2 to 3 added to the Romania-Slovakia game.
Absolutely.
It's always interesting in these simultaneous games. De Bruyne cut out, but Belgium maintained possession. Referee last play on. There's a Ukraine player down behind.
Trossard.
All right, KDB.
I want KDB to rip one from here, man.
Onana, Doku.
Tielemans, Onana, back to De Bruyne. That might be a foul there. Yeah.
Yeah, allowing the foul to take place. Also kicking it out, allowing Shudakov to get some treatment. Fair play there by the Belgians.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah, the way his leg bended.
That hurt.
Onana stamped him in the back of the heel, maybe.
Yeah, that hurt me a little bit. I don't think there was
too much intent into it, but that would merit a yellow card. But I think because both players were kind of in awkward positions going for that ball, he might have escaped the booking.
Yeah.
We just hope that Sudakov is okay. 21 years old, one of Ukraine's up-and-coming talents. Big game in his career. Want to see him continue on his own terms, not be pulled off due to injury. And, of course, there's been quite a few injuries in the first half in these Euros. That really does affect the substitution pattern for these teams. You lose one of 3 valuable windows in the second half if you have to pull a player out.
Yeah.
I think there was even a first half substitution yesterday that wasn't injury related. For the Netherlands, Koeman took Joey Veerman out of the game. Didn't appear to be an injury. So we'll see what happens with Veerman if he sees any more playing time in the knockout stage, because it's usually not a good sign if you get pulled out in the first half.
No, definitely not. And Koeman's not averse to that. I think he did that a couple times at Barcelona when he was there. He's almost like Mourinho-esque, you know what I mean? Like in the sense that if you're really not impressing in the small spells that you have, he's not so risk averse that he's not going to pull you off. He definitely will.
And Capello did that to James Milner in the first half in England's game against the USA, and that was before they conceded that horrible goal.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah. I think those are just early signs that England were doomed in that tournament. And we'll see if England can avoid a disastrous exit in this tournament. If they lose in the round of 16, that's certainly a failure. And yeah, these laser pointers are ridiculous.
Yeah. Brazil's fall from grace to the international stage. You guys thoughts on this? It's crazy that the world's biggest football obsessives have stagnated so much. I'll share my take. I think it's twofold. I think, and I'll let Ivan kind of go too. I think with Brazil, it's a combination of two things. I think one is that, oh my God, why did he cross? Just finish.
Yeah, just
Yaremchuk had that. Yaremchuk had that.
4 decisions in the box.
That was an opportunity for Ukraine, a strong one. A great ball from the center back and broke through the lines.
You got to shoot there. Yeah. Although he would have an open goal. I actually don't hate the decision to cross, but it was a difficult cross to make. But had he found Dobic, that was an open net.
Yeah, but he was almost dual covered by the backtrack runner, so it would have been difficult. But I mentioned, just to touch on Brazil really quick, I think it's twofold. One is I think that they're it's been kind of going this way for a while. I think that they're a very flashy generation of talents. I think Brazil are kind of like, if you watch the NBA, we've had in our latest predictions video on this channel, Max talked about how he felt like Brazil felt like the Lakers, where good team on paper, but they're more kind of flash and pizzazz than anything else. I think the second thing is that also going forward.
Yellow card for Valface.
Yep. You also have with Brazil a lot of players being asked to do more than what they're being asked to do with their respective clubs, specifically up front. There's not a tried and true striker on that Brazil team outside of, I guess you could say Endrick, but Endrick I also wouldn't consider a tried and true striker. They're missing, I think, pieces up front that make them less lethal. So there's a lot to Brazil to unpack.
Right. I'll talk more about that after this free kick here. So Ukraine don't have like a standout free kick taker, especially not one that's on the field right now.
Zinchenko would be the guy.
Like Zinchenko or Yarmolenko if they were playing take this free kick.
Yeah.
Like Mikolenko's up there.
We see these pointers, man. I totally see these pointers. They're on KDB's face every time he takes a free kick.
Yeah, we've seen them several times as well. It's ridiculous. There's no room for that. Like, it shouldn't be.
Oh, he shot it. Okay.
Yeah, it's comfortable enough. Save there from Castillos. You can see what Sadako was trying to do. But, yeah, comfortable save in the end. We're approaching the last 90 seconds of regulation here. But, yeah, I think that as football is moving away from, flash and flare, those types of dazzling moments, at least at the club level, it's more about systems and efficiency. You do see that a lot of Brazilian players who grew up idolizing these talented, gifted players struggle with that. And while sometimes it comes across as they're being showboaty, I think of Anthony, for example, where he tried his best to embarrass Dan Burn one time in an FA Cup match where he was trying to do 2 or 3 step-overs rather than advance the ball.
Yep.
It just doesn't fit in a lot of managers' plans right now. So Brazil have to be a bit more efficient on the national team level. And I think that the players that have been getting called up from the national team, maybe they aren't fitting in as well together as a collective as maybe they've had in tournaments past.
Yeah.
It would be harsh to say that they haven't recovered from the 7-1 thrashing in 2014. They've had some good runs then, but you'd expect Brazil to even have done better than getting knocked out by Belgium in the 2018 World Cup and then by Croatia in the 2022 World Cup, for example.
Yeah.
They have won a Copa America since, but that's
good shot by De Bruyne.
Yeah, good shot on target. Let's see how much stoppage time is added on. Any standout player for you in this first half? 2 minutes added on.
I mean, standout player, Onana looked pretty good in general. I will say Yaremchuk has probably been the most threatening for Ukraine.
Sadakov as well for Ukraine has been good.
Yeah. Mikolenko's been very active down the flank. I think we all kind of knew he would be.
He's earning that start so far.
Yeah.
Belgium a little bit awkward dealing with that ball.
Yep.
But Feet will track it down. For a second, I thought I was going to let it go out and concede a dumb corner, but no, he's got control of it now.
Yep. I think for Belgium standout-wise, I mean, the biggest chance they had was that Lukaku whiff. It really was, and it's unfortunate that he couldn't do more with that. I want to see Doku
on the ball more because the times he's been on it, he's been pushing the tempo a bit more so than perhaps Castagne and Trossard on the right side. It's been more Feet and Doku providing more creativity down the left.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
And maybe Tielemans to explore a little bit further up the field because that's something he enjoys doing. Tielemans is an interesting player because he missed some time due to injury, and then when he does come back for Aston Villa, everyone else is injured. So we didn't get to see the best version of Aston Villa down the stretch of the season. And maybe that affected Tielemans a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, but we all saw what he could do. I mean, he definitely knows how to score. We saw it in the last game for Belgium. So, what a ball.
And
wow. And I don't know if he was off or not. I have no idea if
the Belgian defense believed he was off.
Oh, he was.
The flag came out at the very end of the play there.
But
I think that's going to do it for the first half.
Yeah, he was definitely off.
Yeah, we can see halftime has been indicated. I think considering what's at stake here, fair play so far. both teams are going for it, but the finishing has to be better. That's the thing on both sides. We need better finishing.
Absolutely, definitely do. Got him shook because been the
Pretty
most
entertaining first half.
so far.
You know, not all 0-0s are created equal.
Yeah, fair. I think some fans will be not. I would say maybe pleasantly surprised that Slovakia and Romania are delivering all of the goals in this window for the games today.
Right. I'm gonna get my laptop charger real quick. I'll be right back.
Go for it, man. You're good. All right, lads. Halftime. How we feeling? 0-0, but I mean, it definitely hasn't been completely short of opportunities, right? You look at kind of how they've stacked up so far. Belgium had the majority of the possession, but there have been shots on both sides. The XG just hasn't been there because the chances haven't been meaningful. So, it is what it is, but I expect both sides to really kind of open things up in the second half. We'll find out. I think KDB might have a crack here in the second half. I wonder at what point does Lukaku just decide that he's going to muscle his way through and generate some opportunities? We'll find out.
Yeah, I think part of the strategy for both teams is that they want to burn both Dovbyk and Lukaku's energy on having to press and defend. So that way, when it's time for them to attack, they're not going to get the matchup they want to exploit the defense.
Agreed. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, actually.
Ukraine have more to lose right now because this does not bode well for them. They'll miss out entirely due to goal difference. So They have to find a goal more prominently than Belgium. But then the pendulum shifts against Belgium. So neither team can afford to take their foot off the gas.
No, I think both teams have to gun for it big time in the second half.
Yeah.
Treat it as a knockout game.
Everyone is rooting for a winner in the other game, but you have to take care of business in your own game.
Okay.
You think either team makes a sub in halftime?
Not at halftime. I don't think so.
Not halftime. I think, it might be too soon for that.
I think it's too much of a chess match at the moment. I think they're still filling each other out, believe it or not. But I'm expecting the game to open up, and what it does, I think Doku at that point should feast, but we'll likely see some sort of change made up front, whether it's Trossard coming off.
Trossard would be the player to sacrifice. It would be a big call to take off either Lukaku or KDB early. So you would take out Trossard because Doku's been good as well for Lois Openda. That would be the first move I would make. Yeah.
And Openda, I think he's, considering some of the chances he's missed in this tournament already, you definitely want to see him get a redemption opportunity.
So, MCon Productions, any big European team you think will fall embarrassingly flat this tournament? I personally live for the England self-destruction. I think it remains to be seen what team England faces the next round. They are facing a third-place team, so they might get lucky at least for the round of 16. But I think right now I'm looking at, if you consider Netherlands a big team, they're the ones that are the biggest head scratches at the moment. I think Netherlands
I think France have also fallen short of expectation.
France, because the expectations have been highest for France compared to England and Netherlands, in my opinion. They've been more disappointing in that sense, too. If talent can bail any team out, it would be France. And they do still have their World Cup winning coach and World Cup finalist coach more recently. For the Netherlands, though, Koeman is in that same tier of coaching as Southgate, where there's just so many questionable moves and tactics among both of them. Whereas I think England are a slightly more balanced squad than the Netherlands. I think that, especially with Frankie de Jong out, I trust Netherlands midfield a lot less than I trust England's midfield, where they at least have Bellingham and Declan Rice.
Yeah, I agree. Although I will say, man, under Southgate, and I'm a massive Declan Rice fan, obviously as an Arsenal fan. Both players look like a shell of themselves under Southgate. It's actually kind of wild. But you could say that about so many England players probably at this point. What a hit that he just misses. This is Romania's opportunity. I'm watching the highlights.
Right, they're showing the halftime highlights.
Yeah, I mean that was easily in the first few minutes an opportunity for Romania to go ahead, and then Slovakia. What a ball! Wow, and the header equally as impressive.
Yeah,
Fantastic header. Wow, that was 1-0
that is a
Slovakia.
really good goal from Andrzej Duda.
Man, Slovakia turning heads this tournament. I love to see it.
Yep, and then this is the play.
Let's
I want to see another look at this.
That is very close.
Yeah, I cannot tell. Okay, so the
Was
foul
it the
itself
first
is
hit or
just
the
inside
second
box.
hit?
If it's the second hit, then I understand the penalty.
Yeah, if it's that first touch though, that is questionable as they come.
Yeah, I'm okay with that being a penalty. I don't think it's like very outside or on the line that like you could give it an outside the box foul like with Germany versus Scotland.
That's crazy. Slovakia basically, I mean, they can still get in on third place, don't get me wrong, but they basically have to win this game. And Ukraine now needs to absolutely send it.
Yeah, Ukraine, the biggest urgency is on Ukraine. One goal from either game changes everything.
Yeah. Bellingham under Southgate plays like Birmingham City. Oh.
That's an insult to Birmingham City. He was playing pretty well for them. They retired his jersey number.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's not just Bellingham though. Like I know everyone will focus on Bellingham because he's up for the Ballon d'Or, right? And there's all of that hype around him, but it's literally everyone on England. I'll be honest. I have a hot take on England. I think it's not Southgate's a lot of it, but I think as long as Harry Kane is starting for England, they will feel inferior to what we think they can be. Biggest reason why is because Harry Kane doesn't offer much outside of coming back and distributing the ball, which I don't think England even need. With how many ballers they have sitting behind him in the lineup, you don't need him to come back, retrieve the ball, and play his wingers into space at all. You need him to just be a goal sniffer in the box, a fox in the box, and just wait for service to come his way. But that doesn't really happen because he's so often tracking back to try and find someone. I just don't think it makes sense for this team. It makes sense for Bayern Munich. It made sense for him at Spurs. Does not make sense for England. He has too much creative help behind him.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'd retire my own jersey number if I played for Birmingham City. Yeah, I feel that. All right, lads, I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be right back, Ivan. Hold it down, man.
Cool. And while we're here, some other interesting news involving the U.S. women's national team. So Alex Morgan tweeted, "Today I'm disappointed about not having the opportunity to represent our country on the Olympic stage. In less than a month, I look forward to supporting this team and cheering them on alongside the rest of our country. LFG," which you all know what that means. It's going to be weird not seeing Alex Morgan in a major tournament for the U.S. women's national team. But I understand the decision from Emma Hayes. It's a big call, obviously, to leave Alex Morgan out. Still playing pretty well and obviously has a lot of talent. But she turns 35 on July 2nd, so I get that. Looking at the matchups we know for sure are coming up for the Euro tournament. So Saturday's matchups are already confirmed. We're going to start that day with Switzerland versus Italy. And Italy, at the start of the tournament, you would expect them to go through against Switzerland. But now it feels like people are backing Switzerland to win that matchup. And I can understand that. I think it's going to be a very close game. I probably will still go with Italy personally, but we'll see. So between Switzerland and Italy, that one is very close to call. Then Germany, Denmark, I think people are like 95% behind Germany, and I agree with that there. On Sunday, England will play in the opening match, and then Spain will be in the later match on Sunday, both of them awaiting their opponents. France and Portugal, their matches will be on Monday, July 1st. And then in the final round of 16 match day on Tuesday, July 2nd. We don't know either of the teams that are going to be in that matchup yet. And then Austria will close it out against the runner-up of Group F, which will likely either be Czechia or Turkey. So that'll be interesting, and that'll be a good tournament for whoever makes the quarterfinals. But I think regardless of what happens between Czechia and Turkey, I think Austria will be the favorite to advance in that spot. So it's just really cool seeing the final piece of the puzzle come together today.
I just saw Guirassy joins Dortmund in a 17.5 million move.
Oh, wow. So
yep.
He's the Ghanaian attacker from Stuttgart, right?
Yep. So he makes the move. Here we go from Fab. Have given the green light from the player side for working on this deal for months. Guirassy has accepted, and formal steps will follow. Dortmund will pay the release clause, around 17.5 million to Stuttgart.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's a big move, man. It's a big, big move.
And I think that could work out well for him because Dortmund are great at player development, and he's staying in the same league. I think that's the most important thing. I think you need to establish yourself at a team like Dortmund first before you can make a move to an even bigger club in a different league. So,
yeah.
And hey, if Dortmund can make it to the UEFA Champions League semifinals or further with more regularity and finally get over the hump and win a Champions League final, then they wouldn't just be that like last tier stepping stone club. They could be a destination club like what Bayern Munich maybe used to be. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Josep Martinez to Inter. Here we go as of an hour ago, which I will assume is going to be the long-term replacement to Jan Sommer. So
yeah, I think so too. It'll be tough to bench Jan Sommer for the immediate season, but you do have to look ahead. And I think that's what Inter, are figuring out more and more because they have gotten the best out of some of these goalkeepers in the later stages of the career. You think of Julio Cesar with that incredible Inter team in 2010, and then Samir Handanovic after that. So that's just the next rotation there for Inter.
Yeah. You know what, man? This is probably the most interesting transfer saga that I will follow this summer. Is this the story of Osimhen? Yeah. And I don't know where he could possibly end up, but I have this theory, man. I kind of maybe some of the same stuff with a little bit with Eberechi Eze. I had this and maybe I'm way off the mark here, but I feel like for whatever reason, teams don't rate them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I feel like same thing with Eze, not just Osimhen, but Eze. I feel like if a big move was going to materialize, it would have already, or we would at least see some real competition going in for these players. But I feel like with Osimhen, we don't really see it. Maybe because of the price tag. The price tag's probably very steep, and only a handful of clubs can truly afford that. But with the case of Eberechi Eze, I feel like Olise is going to move on to Bayern this summer, and we're not going to see any news around Eze, which will force him to stay at Crystal Palace, even though he's linked with the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, potentially even United. It's just really interesting to me. I don't know why clubs haven't made a move for those players.
Well, from the club perspective, sure. We'll be happy to keep Eberechi Eze at Palace for another season. Napoli will be like, fine, we're cool if we keep both Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia. That's a win for Napoli. Like, I understand from the business perspective, you'd like to cash in on these players, but it's not like these players are approaching 30 or anything. Their value might soar further. And if Napoli were to somehow, I don't see if they lose both Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia this window, but that would be a disaster if they did, especially coming off of a poor finish in Serie A. And with Bologna and Atalanta, Lazio, Roma, those tier of Italian clubs competing in Juventus perhaps resurging, that would be bad news. And then you also got Fiorentina lurking around there as well. But Fiorentina seem to be Conference League merchants at the moment, particularly losing in the finals. Congratulations again to Olympiacos.
Yeah, an insane story, a Cinderella story of sorts. Man, and we're getting ready for a second half to kick off, lads. And in that vein, Lukaku being the top target for Napoli. Potentially if Osimhen does move on. I think if anyone does move on this summer, it is Osimhen. I think if he makes room for Lukaku, Conte will love it. And But I think that, Lukaku probably needs to start trying to impress suitors in this tournament. I think we need to see a goal from this man in the second half, or at least some true threats that take them to the knockout rounds. So we'll see.
And it looks like no nation involved in the matches happening live right now made a halftime sub. So everyone's just running it back with their starting 11s. And it's going to be interesting. Who makes that first change? Who makes that first roll of a dice to try to win? Because it's on a knife's edge. Sure, as it stands right now, you could be going through, but you can guarantee you go through if you score that goal.
Absolutely, man.
And I think if this group does end with 4 points across the board, and then you also had the situation with Group C where England had 5 points with 2 draws, and Denmark and Slovenia had the 3 points with all 3 draws as well. A lot of questions will be asked about the format of this tournament. And there's only really 2 solutions. You go back to only 16 teams qualify for the Euro, or you make I'm not sure if I would do this, expand it further to 32 teams. I feel like at that point, that would be too much. Like, everyone qualifies essentially, except for the Liechtensteins of the world. 24 is like the good amount of number of teams that are involved. But unfortunately, with that number of teams, you are in the situation where you allow third place teams to advance.
I agree. Oh, he mistouched. All right, there we go. Doku gets the ball back.
All right.
Breakaway
running with it long ways, but that was just one player too much. Although he did earn a free kick. That's good. We want to see that. That's Zabarny coming in there. The Bournemouth defender. So, yeah, Bournemouth having a couple of defenders involved in the Euros this year. Not bad from the Cherries.
Iraola's man.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of cherry picking going on in this game. The few big chances that either team have had, they haven't been able to cash in just yet. And I did mention earlier that the first player you'd look in to bring off the bench for Belgium would be Lois Openda. I think for Ukraine, the first player you'd look to bring in would be Michaela Mudryk.
Yeah, I think with what Yaremchuk's doing right now with chances, he'd probably add so much. I think even like at some point when you really want to push forward heavily, you maybe even consider pulling off a center back for Zinchenko.
Really good, inspiring start so far from Belgium, slicing the Ukraine defense, feeds with those searching passes, maintaining possession even when Ukraine repel the attacks.
Onana,
good turn there. Onana impressing.
I know he's there. Oh, unlucky. They missed the 1-2 with Lukaku.
Now that's Thea with the ball. All right, KDB commanding the midfield there.
Go back to him. I mean, I see the idea,
have
but
8 players within 5 yards of their own box or within the box. So they're still very much committed to weathering the storm, not really interested in exploring the counterattack if they get the ball in that dangerous moment. Right now, they're just trying to survive.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, though, Ukraine, like the 2 teams are in a very different place. It's a foul, by the way. I guess they play advantage by Anthony Taylor. I think the teams are just how they're playing. Ukraine seems to be chemistry-wise on the same page, just a little bit unlucky with some of the opportunities. Belgium, I feel like, are shooting themselves in the foot a little bit because they're not on the same page. Because, the last pass from FaZe was probably the perfect example. He thought KDB was going to run to the space, but just didn't get there. And now Dovbyk.
Results hold. Belgium faced France in the round 16, and I know France have been disappointing, but I would still back France to advance in that situation because France, whenever these 2 nations have faced in big games, thinking back to the 2022 World Cup, granted different teams at this stage of their cycles, France have had their number. I think France would know how to exploit Belgium there. So you have to face the good teams at some point if you make a deep run in a major tournament, but you at least want to get deeper first and get some of that confidence.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 2018 World Cup might have been like Belgium's best chance to like take down.
That was their best chance. They took out Brazil, which was one big feat. They had to scare against Japan. They had to come back from 2-0 down, and that was perhaps the first sign that Japan are starting to rise in the rank in the world stage.
Yeah.
And then, they just couldn't get going in the Euros. Very disappointing in 2016 the way they got knocked out by Wales, and then they missed out. They lost to eventual winners Italy in the 2020 Euros, but the biggest crash and burn for this Belgium generation had to be in their group stage exit in 2022.
Oh my God!
Both Croatia and Morocco made all the way to the semifinals, but still, you expect Belgium to get out of the group against a Morocco team that made history, sure, and also Croatia, where they were perhaps further along in their aging situation than Belgium was.
Yeah, and even the Canada team they played, right? And that game would ended up being close. So it's like,
Canada were unable to score a penalty there. That could have changed the outlook for Belgium even more so, and that also could change things for Canada, because if Canada hold on to a result against Belgium, do they fall apart against Croatia after that opening goal? We won't know.
Yeah.
So also, congrats to Canada getting their first Copa America win yesterday against Peru. That was a gutsy performance to get those 3 points, and now they give themselves a really good chance. A draw against Chile, and they are through to the knockout phase of the Copa America, and that's what Canada needs going into hosting the World Cup in 2 years, a bare minimum to get out of that group.
Man, I wonder how possible that goal would have been had Peru not been down to 10 men.
Right. Granted, it still was really good, too.
It was. A great finish by Jonathan David. It's just that counterattack was very, very open.
Right. And here, Belgium are on the counterattack, it looks like.
Yep.
Yoko has a lot of space, and he's dribbling past the defense.
Oh, Lukaku, how are you not there?
Just doesn't find Lukaku.
I think Lukaku's just not there. I think that ball is probably exactly where it needed to be. It's just the striker not in the position.
All right, Tielemans. He lines up for the shot, but it's blocked out for a corner.
They seem like they're getting frustrated.
That back three is staunch. They are not giving in. They look like they can go this whole game and just keep at it, Belgium. But the defense is not what we're worried about. Matt Bianco, the captain, he's been great there, but they need a goal. They can't just rely on either Slovakia or Romania to bail them out.
He's going to hit that. Oh, it took too long.
Tielemans is not happy. He thought that should have been another corner.
He's not the only one. I've seen a lot of griping from Kevin De Bruyne as well. I think Belgium's just getting more frustrated.
It looks like he shot it before. Oh, no. That
did deflect.
The Ukraine player. It was just the tip of the red boot there. And now I understand. Yeah, Tielemans is right to be frustrated.
Push up on him. There you go. Belgium has to press. Come on. There you go. Belgian ball.
Ukraine obviously have less game changers on their bench than Belgium do. So with Ukraine, they're kind of just rolling the dice, hoping that something happens for them on the offensive end and they can pounce when the opportunity presents itself. But Belgium have more tools to influence the game off the bench. Right now, we're in the 54th minute. So maybe in 10 more minutes, we'll start to see either manager look toward their bench.
I agree.
But Belgium are really opening up the play. They're not really looking toward the middle too much. They're trying to explore options down either wing. But here's Ukraine with the ball.
Slovakia and Romania still 1-1.
Yeah. And that's going to run out for a goal kick. That ball needs to be better. I think that was a low percentage chance of success there. and that's been the problem for Ukraine. They're being a little bit desperate right now. They still have a little more than a half hour, so maybe it's not desperation time just yet, but the clock is ticking, so
Yeah.
you can see either way. They're keeping up the press here. They have 4 players pressing the Belgium defense.
Doku.
Doku's going to win that matchup, but good recovery.
Onana, Castagna.
Yeah, Timchuk is doing his best with Doku, but not many right backs can contain him.
It's a tall order.
Yeah. And Matvienko is in a very wide position too, so maybe him and Mikolenko ended up being in opposite spots in defense with the way that the Belgium attack drew them out.
Yeah.
But they're able to bring it out for a corner for Belgium. This is Belgium's 4th corner. Ukraine only had 1 corner this entire game.
Doku.
Short corner.
Ooh. Trossard. Tielemans. Back to Trossard, but it's going to be too long. And there's no way Trossard can.
Been playing FIFA lately with these short corners because I know personally my regular corners on FIFA are terrible, so I take my chances with the short corner. But I feel like whip it into the box, see what happens. You've got physical targets to aim for.
Yeah. I mean, this has to be training ground stuff. There has to be like a mismatch they saw in game film or something for them to be so persistent with this.
Right. And Mikolenko's able to block that Doku shot in the end.
Yep.
So a lot of bend don't break. Everyone's just matching up with the best that the opposition can offer them. And you like to see that. That's the one amount of heart you want to see in a national team. Zinchenko coming on.
There he is.
Perhaps, yeah.
He's getting ready. I wonder for who.
Now, where will he slide in? Because he's a very versatile player.
Oh, there you go.
Mikolenko. It's a like swap.
Yep.
Okay, so Mikolenko makes way. That was a big call to not start with Zinchenko, but he's going to get an opportunity to make an impact. Had Zinchenko been available more often for Arsenal, as good as Jacob Kiwior is for his stage of his career, that's another one of those questions and what ifs for Arsenal. Of course, the biggest one being the health of Saliba.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kiwior held his own. I think at times he became a mismatch pick based on his defensive capabilities versus what Zinchenko offers. But yeah, I think Zinchenko's inverted role with Arsenal and his skill set as basically a midfielder offers a lot to anyone who has him.
Yep. So here come Belgium again. We see he's been prone to roaming into those open spaces close to the box. Fair play.
Oh,
and
good
then,
ball.
Here's Doku in behind.
Ooh.
Oh, Lukaku once again can't meet the end of that cross. Doku is doing everything he can to set up Lukaku here, and he's starting to get frustrated.
Yeah, he's starting to get frustrated. At some point, somebody has to meet the end of these crosses.
Yeah, Trubin was caught out in no man's land. He was not getting to that ball whatsoever. He was off his line. Goalkeeper, if you're not going to get there, you might as well stay on the line. That's the decision making. You have to get spot on. Otherwise, you have no chance of saving that.
Yeah.
Ukraine playing it out from the back here. And now they finally clear it. In that case, why not just throw it forward initially instead of throwing it back?
I think the idea is that now that Zinchenko is back there and he is a little more comfortable absorbing the pressure, there's an opportunity to try and play out if you can. But, yeah, I don't know. Oh, my goodness.
Maybe they don't have a long throw specialist either to try to initiate the attack through a throw-in.
Yeah.
Ukraine,
they're trying to play out.
Get out of their own half at the moment. Belgium look much more comfortable. Tielemans had been calling for it. He gets it. What are you going to do with it now?
Onana. Oh, man. Lukaku has just been
Belgium had to switch the point of attack. Feet was also calling for it, and he had space. Ukraine on the counterattack.
He's off, I think. Yep.
Oh, yeah, they called it.
This is crazy, man. Onana's literally been Belgium's best player, and
Yeah.
it's. I mean, you argue
That was a
Doku,
close
but
offside call. That Dobic is trying to make an impact as well. Just hasn't been his day.
Yeah.
About an hour in, level in both games.
Last 30 minutes are gonna be wild. Let's see. I thought there'd be more goals in this game. I'll be honest. I did not see a defensive masterclass from either Belgium or Ukraine, but
And had it not been for those late goals scored by Italy and Hungary, we would have had even more closing day draws in these group stages.
yeah, 100%. Tielemans.
And the group stage began with 11 of the 12 games ending with a winner. The only game that ended all tied up in that first round of fixtures was Denmark versus Slovenia. All right. Once again, the Roman.
Ooh, find him.
Doku's not in the position he wants to be. He got drawn out too centrally, trying to get something going. At this point, Doku, you've done your hard work on the wing. I would not hate if you tried to get more central into the box, and why not take a shot?
Davi, what's good, bro? Do Belgium bring on Openda? I think they have to. I think at some point they absolutely have to.
He should be the first sub they make, and this is getting to that point in the next 5 minutes especially. I would want to see him in there.
I did the Onana showdown.
We have not said Trossard's name in a while.
No, he's trying because right now Trossard's actually like taking a step back into the midfield and trying to create a little bit because there's no fluidity up top. I think he might get subbed off.
Tielemans as well. I agree with that change.
And Trossard, yeah, that's what I figured. I think he was already kind of moving back into the midfield anyway.
So
and now you get Carrasco, who offers a little bit of pace. I mean, he's like close to 30 now, not crazy, but a little bit of pace.
Carrasco's been never present. He's got a lot of experience with Belgium, so he keeps that continuity. All right, so Ukraine have 2 windows and 4 subs left. Belgium also have 2 windows, but only 3 subs left.
Man, Lukaku has been invisible the second half so far.
Yeah.
Just not there at all. Romania, Slovakia still 1-1. Man.
Carrasco currently playing out at Al-Shabaab, which is not one of the big Saudi clubs. So interesting that he's still being called up here, but he has that experience with the Belgian national team.
Yep. It's more of a depth piece also.
Yeah.
Here we go. Stays out for a throw-in.
So it remains to be seen if the likes of Openda, as well as a Bakayoko or a De Ketelare, get their opportunity. But as this game rages on one hand, you'd like to see Belgium go for it, but Belgium might be comfortable. They could go more defensive. We could see maybe a De Baas or a De Kuiper instead come through.
Yep.
Ukraine's attacking options off the bench. We're looking at a Taras Stepanenko, the Andriy Yarmolenko, and then they have a few more attackers, and Alexander Zubkov and Vanat there. So, yeah, we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, some options, some that could change this game.
Right.
I'm still waiting. I know I kind of said it at halftime. I was kind of waiting for this game to open up, but it's even gotten more compact in certain areas.
Right. Here's Ukraine now. They're stringing some passes together.
Ukraine just want more possession.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more of the
Yeah,
ball.
they'd love to have a bit more of the ball, but
Oh,
no,
wow.
that's a bad giveaway.
Lukaku.
What can you do here, Lukaku? Not the best angle here, but he gets a shot.
I don't know what Lukaku has to really do, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's should he drive into the box at that point instead of just trying to take the angle and open his hips up? I mean,
Right.
like what has to I don't know. The defender closed in on his shooting foot, so
that
maybe
would have been a
that's
tough angle if he got further.
I don't get why Ukraine is looking threatening. They need the win to not be eliminated.
Exactly.
I think the first half was actually very promising for Ukraine. They just didn't convert any of their chances. Like Dovbyk had opportunities. Yaremchuk had like 2 or 3 shots in the first half. They had an interesting ball played to Yaremchuk that was going to get called offside had it gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a little bit of like lacking that cutting edge for them.
Yeah,
they looked more threatening than Belgium. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's the first opportunity for Mangala to go forward here. Castillo's way up there, trying to push the tempo up for Belgium. Dinks it to Doku.
Touch
but can't get the bounce. And that's a foul. Pulled back. Ukraine can breathe a little bit. Because had Doku won that battle, he was in a dangerous spot.
A little bit of frustration. I think Belgium are slowly kind of taking themselves out of this game a little bit. I just feel like they're going to get chances. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like the frustration is continuing to build the longer it stays 0-0.
Yeah, and I feel like Doku's feeling it because he is one of the younger players for this Belgian roster, at least one of the younger star players. And for Manchester City, he doesn't have to be the focal point. He's not the person that people are zeroing in on when it comes to the De Bruynes, the Silvas, Fodens, Haalands. Yeah. So he does get a lot more of the attention here, and rightfully so. But it doesn't mean that he's having to deal with a lot more adversity.
Good ball by Lukaku.
Oh, come on, Belgium. You got to figure this out here.
Carrasco. Oh, wow. Good defending.
There was a intervention there by Tim Shook that took the sting off that chance, and he might have paid for it as he's down.
That's good defending, though. That's exactly what
we're defending. That's what you got to do.
Oh, Nana again.
And there was a collision there that started that attack, too.
Yep.
Got the ball out to Belgium. Carrasco giving some energy off the bench. Yeah, that is – yeah, players are flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Onana, who's had a terrific game.
Yeah.
Dang it.
And Davi says it again. Barca look into Onana's option. I think they will, man. I think they are, actually. The issue is going to be the price tag. Everton
Zabarni is well involved in there as well, the Bournemouth defender. And, yeah, he would be good for Barcelona there because most of their center midfielder options, they're not a 6. They're not a defensive midfielder.
And not even that. I mean, look at the profile of Amadou Onana. I mean, the guy is just a physical freak.
Who's the best, out and out defensive midfielder Barcelona has? Is it Oriol Romeu?
Yeah, Romeu will probably move on. I think, realistically speaking, Barca will likely look different this coming season than they've looked in quite some time with a double pivot. So, they don't really have a tried and true holding.
And that's why they were playing Christensen there at times too.
Yeah. Which he wasn't bad at it, to be fair, but I think you just lose out on something moving forward with when you play a center back as your holding mid.
Yeah, right. That's the problem there.
Carrasco.
Belgium wins it there in the middle of the field. Castagna moving forward.
Play him inside? No, Mangala doesn't have it anymore.
And I'm glad that the 26-player squad has been normalized in these major tournaments because I feel like with the 23-player, it's pretty much by the book. Okay, you go with your, obviously, 3 goalkeepers. That's going to be a constant. 8 defenders, 8 midfielders, and then 4 forwards. Or maybe you trade a midfielder for a forward to go 7-5. But with the 3 extra players, it allows managers to have a bit more liberty in your squad selection. If you have a few injury concerns, you can bring another player or 2 for cover. Or if you have a talented player that would otherwise be left out due to the numbers game, you can accommodate for that. 3 changes for Ukraine.
A line change, basically.
Exactly.
I love Onana and Kimmich with Nico Williams in this window. There's no way, Davi, I'm going to spoil this for you right now. There's no way in hell Barcelona make all those moves in this one window.
In one window? Yeah.
Nah.
You're playing FIFA career mode there.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think
financial takeover.
I think Nico is very possible. I think if we get Nico, though, we're not going to get Onana. Like, it's going to be one of the two, and then we'll get a defensive mid, but it'll be a depth piece, a very similar signing to like what we did with Romeo. Maybe not of that quality exactly, but similar to that type of signing we made last summer. So I think if we get Nico, it's going to be 50 million. We're not going to have 100 million in funds to spend.
Yeah, right? I can get behind these subs for Ukraine. Stepanenko, Malinovsky is also very good. He plays for Genoa. That's really promising signs there for Ukraine. They're getting a lot of very good players off the bench involved, and they need that spark. Yaremchuk makes way. He looked like he was the better of the two for Dobbik, but maybe it would have been more of a controversial change to take Dobbik off. But your life in this competition is on the line here. If a player's underperforming, it doesn't matter the name recognition or their stature, make that move. But let's see, Ukraine starting to ask more questions there. 20 minutes to go in this game.
Supposedly we're going to 250
but not making that run there.
Davi, I think we get that money. It's not that we don't get it, but I think what that money allows us to do is move back into a 1-for-1, right? We can then make a signing for every outgoing transfer that we make. So we still will have to sell a pretty key player to bring in the likes of Onana, Nico Williams, and the Kimmich deal. It's possible if they move that price down to 30, which Bayern probably won't do us any favors there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be very, very difficult. July's going to be a crazy month for all big clubs. The ball in. No.
Yeah, especially whenever there's a summer transfer window following a major tournament, you do get a lot of these players perhaps getting overvalued a bit more because people got to see them and they impressed for their country.
Oh, my goodness.
To have that consistency.
I want this combination to happen so bad. And it's like Doku and Lukaku are just like, they're this far off of each other. A step or two in the wrong direction when they try to link up. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating.
I can only imagine what the Belgian manager's really thinking. I mean, they're making the right decisions. It's just literally that final pass, that final touch is not linking up because the chemistry isn't necessarily there.
Oh, yeah, and both Mudryk and Sigankov, my mistake, have been unavailable due to injury. So that's why we haven't seen Mudryk yet. So
they're really banking on trying to make it in so he can be available. Then I guess we'll find out.
They need to make one more attacking substitution, which way they have one more sub left. I don't see how they don't go to Andriy Yarmolenko, the experienced veteran for Ukraine.
Yeah, I agree.
If Ukraine do go out here.
What a hit by Carrasco.
Almost sealed their fate.
Doku.
That was a good save by Trubin.
Again, Doku.
Doku, take that shot. You deserve it.
Got blocked.
Good block there. Wave after wave of Belgian attacks here.
KDB. Oh. Ukraine scrambling a little bit here. They clear. The pressure is mounting. Dobbik, though.
Oh, now Ukraine break away. Dobbik.
1v1. Take him on.
Here. Oh,
man,
no.
He hesitated.
Yeah, he's just mentally not there today, making the wrong decisions in those.
I think he's in his own head. He's got to be in his own head. I don't know, man. I think that was the best opportunity for Dobbik.
If this is the way Ukraine go out, this is a reminder that even in this more forgiving Euros format, the importance of getting off to a good start in this tournament, calling an aberration, call it poor performance, whatever it is, that 3-0 loss to Romania is still very damaging.
This shot by Carrasco, man, if that's maybe a foot or two to the keeper's right, that's an interesting placement for that shot. That could have
And
easily been a
Carrasco is
goal.
justifying his inclusion in this matchup today, even if he's been out of the limelight playing for the Saudi Pro League. He's got that quality still.
Oh, Dobik. Oh.
And again, not all Saudi Pro League clubs are created equal. Like if he was playing for maybe an Al Hilal and Al Nassr, there'd be less questions. But still, like he's doing well off the bench today.
Yeah, he is. No, he's had a good spell so far. And Dobik is right now in every aerial ball getting doubled, every single one. And this is not a bad hit, but great block. Fantastic block.
Right now, Ukraine's creating their own luck. They're not just relying on getting a winner in the other game. They're trying to do what they can to be in control of their own destiny. So if they do go out like this, at least they're trying. They're not just defending, which would be pointless. They're doing what they can. And Belgium, careless to give it up like that.
If the results hold, France will play Belgium in the next round.
Yeah, and that has to be in the back of your mind. Like, sure, you're okay going to the knockout stage by any means necessary, but do you want to face France? Probably not.
I don't think anybody does.
No, yeah. Like, I don't care how poor France have played so far. You take your chances with almost any other team, barring Germany and Spain or Portugal. Like, France is probably still the fourth best team.
Yeah, I mean, having to deal. Oh, here we go. Having to deal with the likes of and this is no disrespect to Germany at all, but or even Spain, but having to deal with the likes of Ferran Torres or Morata or Kai Havertz or Füllkrug is not the same as dealing with Kylian Mbappe, right? So it's just a much taller order when you have arguably the best player in the world.
Germany should start Füllkrug over Havertz in their next game, though.
It'll depend on how they want to play. I think Füllkrug coming off the bench is actually really interesting because the ask is very simple. Go out there and just give us some more straightforward clinical 9 play in the box. Be that fox that we need.
Okay, here we go.
Yep, here we go.
Another change for Belgium.
That's a foul. Whereas with Kai Havertz, I think he just offers a little bit more in build-up. When I watch Dortmund play, Füllkrug actually pisses me off because in early stages of the game, he's just not heavily involved. Like he's pretty much only waiting for service to come in.
I think we're gonna see Johan Bakayoko, who struggled against Slovakia.
Is Doku the one off?
Doku.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a very risky decision.
But he's been your best attacker today.
By far.
Yeah.
Like really not even close. I would say Doku and Onana have been the best players on the pitch for Belgium, and you've taken your biggest, offensive threat off the field.
Yeah, I'm very much surprised by that decision there.
Honestly, taking Lukaku off for Openda would have been less controversial, I think.
Yeah. 2 subs left, so if they do want to use them both, they'd have to do that in their third and final window, Belgium. I would want to see both De Ketelaere and Openda on, but if they want to remain that balance, maybe Openda and then a defensive substitution for some fresh legs, maybe a Debas, since you trusted the 20-year-old from Anderlecht enough to start him in that first game against Slovakia. Obviously, it didn't go according to plan.
Nope.
But he would probably be your best option to shore things up.
Yeah, I agree. I think some might be critical, though, right? Like, Belgium should try to go out and win this game. What are they doing, trying to sub in a defender? But, fresh legs do matter at this stage of the game.
And just having that balance between the two objectives of trying to finish as high in the group as possible, but also ensuring that you have that safe passage through regardless.
And you don't risk that. Yeah, I agree.
And besides, with the ability to have 5 substitutions, it does make it more palatable to use maybe the 4th or 5th of those subs for a defender. Whereas back when you only had 3 subs allowed, you had to be more midfield and forward focused. You weren't changing the back line nearly enough.
Yeah, I agree. It really, if ever, like I can't think of so many back lines that just never changed. You never came off the field.
Exactly. If anything, maybe a fullback, but definitely not. So Ukraine were able to switch the play there. They have another lengthy spell of possession.
There
Sudokov
we go. There's the space.
driving forward.
Novik.
Take a shot.
Oh, we
That
went
was
near post.
better. Side netting.
It's really interesting, man. When I see Dovbyk play for Girona, I feel like he's more fluid in his movements. Like he's maybe even like a step or two quicker. It's so choppy with Ukraine. I don't know what it is. Like it's somewhat easy to defend. Like to just get in front of what he's gonna do.
Yeah, as an experienced defender guarding him, Vertonghen, he knows how to cut off that angle and make it easier for Casteels. And while Casteels hasn't played a whole lot for Belgium, of course, with Courtois, Casteels has often been a number 2 or a number 3 selection. Certainly number 3 when Mignolet was more in effect, but they do know each other well, Vertonghen and Casteels, from many times being in the national team setup.
Wait, what was his shot accuracy? I think it's still 0 for 2. He has no shots on target.
Yeah,
still.
0 for 2, only 2 shots. Granted, Ukraine weren't going to get more opportunities than Belgium in this game. And I think that's it.
Yarmolenko is on.
Be that last change for Ukraine.
Imagine the veteran saves the day.
I would hope so, yeah. That would be a storybook ending for Ukraine if they can get that goal. The best case scenario for my pre-tournament predictions would be this remains 0-0, but someone wins the Slovakia-Romania game, so that way both the teams I predicted to advance, Ukraine and Belgium, do. Because if there's a winner in this game, it dooms the other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's actually been a pretty close game.
Yeah, it's been a very close game, as
the chances
would suggest. So in that last change for Ukraine, they took off one of their center backs in Svatkov, who plays for Dnipro, which is the Phoenix club of the Dnipro that won the or made to the final of the Europa League 8 years ago or something like that. But anyway, now it's a 4 at the back for Ukraine. So I think that it's going to be more like a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 going forward for the remainder of this game.
Vertonghen doesn't get the tackle. It's a corner.
Yeah, Vertonghen near the end of his career, up there in age. But aside from that, I feel like he's been solid this game.
Yeah, no, he has. He has for sure.
Yeah.
It just creates a late chance for Ukraine.
He's not – I think the presence of Pepe in this tournament will keep him feeling young.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the fact that
Navas.
the fact that we have both Pepe and Lamine Yamal on the opposite ends of the spectrum in the same tournament is kind of wild.
Yeah, it is. The Iberian neighbors.
Yep.
25-year age difference between them.
Oh! Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Casteels. So far, by far, for Belgium.
What was that, man? Look, wow. Oh my God. That was on the line.
Ends up in the back of the net, but he keeps the ball out.
That was on the line. Casteels, what a save. Take a bow.
Yeah. He's a joy to watch being the goalkeeper for Wolfsburg, and he's
wow
here too. Wolfsburg
trying to justify his position.
Wolfsburg have looked like they would flirt with relegation a few times had it not been for him. So
yeah,
he's been one of their staples.
A great
along
keeper,
with Maximilian Arnold.
Yeah, a great keeper that was just under pressure because of the fact that Courtois is just sitting there, right? Like,
there is a chance that a goalkeeper might have bungled that into the net because that was a difficult ball to grasp.
I don't think he even grasped it. The way he came at it, it looks like he barely got the back of his fist on it. And
it was like you're carrying like more plates than you should.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so Belgium now get a throw in a dangerous position here.
Oh, here we go, baby.
Into the box. That's another time that number 24 Sudokov has been down, or Timshik even. Sorry.
And he's cramping. I know he's not wasting time because at the end of the day, they can't afford to waste any time.
And he's going to have to carry on. Ukraine used up all their substitutions. Belgium still have a couple more in the pocket. They may use them maybe near the 90-minute mark at this point.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good throw from Thee. Causing some questions, but Ukraine hold firm in the box. Gets the ball back. And now Belgium will try reset.
Yeah, they're literally resetting all the way back.
Wow. All the way back to Castiles.
I've never seen them make an agenda more clear. Here we go, Zinchenko. He's not going to meet it. Yep.
Heavy touch by Zinchenko. Try to chest it down, but Ukraine not going down without a fight. If they go out,
you have Yarmolenko. Play him. Good.
All right. You got a runner to your right.
I thought a little bit selfish.
Good shielding to get the ball back. And then throwing it back to the center back.
Yeah, Ukraine have to throw the kitchen sink at this now.
Yeah, Stepanenko getting that ball rolling, but now they turn it over. Belgium, they got space in the midfield. Good run by Kevin De Bruyne.
Lukaku.
Oh,
that's not a bad move.
Lukaku earning a corner there.
Not a bad move. Not a bad move.
Last 5 minutes plus stoppage.
Ooh, he took Zinchenko for a ride there.
Yeah, Zinchenko, not his best work there. Instead, we see the captain, Mikola Matvienko, clean it up. Trubin congratulates him on some hard-nosed defending there. De Bruyne serving the options. Ruslan Malinovsky guarding the short corner, which is the option Belgium go with.
Wow.
And once again, it goes all the way back to Cohen Castiles. Ukraine have an opportunity there, but Belgium have a lot of players back.
Big switch.
Yeah.
Good, there it is.
Yarmolenko doesn't have the pace, so he's going to have to be precise with that pass. And Ukraine keeps it going. Belgium half clearance. You got to get it back on.
Yarmolenko judges it right. Oh, tries to get it in.
Belgium just hanging tough here. Counterattack. It's 2-on-3. Ukraine.
Carrasco.
Open up.
Keep pushing.
Carrasco. Now they're able to recover enough. But,
they're very disjointed in their attack.
The few chances he's had coming off the bench, they haven't been precise from Bakayoko.
No, but that whole counterattack was very disjointed. Goes to KDB here. It's behind him. I don't know if that's a pass. It looks like he's setting himself up for a shot.
Ukraine have to live with that because they need a goal. They can't rely on the other game. They have to just be in control of their own destiny because either they go out like this or they can see a goal. Either way, they're out. Timchuk.
That's a good ball.
Good ball in. Hold up.
First time shot. Oh!
Ooh. That is laying your body on the line there.
What a great block. Yeah, that hurt. Castagna is feeling it.
Timothy Castagna, the fallen man.
What a hit. I don't know where it hit him, but
Castagna's been a ghost for part of this game, but he comes up at the biggest moment.
Oh, I hit him in the side. I mean, it might knock the wind out of him, though.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that was good. He made sure to turn his body away to not get called for handball. He's able to continue.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this save. This is insane right here.
Yep. Literally on the line.
Castile's the hero for Belgium.
Yeah.
Ukraine fans in
nervous
shambles.
Moments for Ukraine. What a story it's been for them to get to this tournament, but they don't want the story to end here.
I think maybe 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, I think they'll go with 3 for the substitutions.
Ooh,
Couldn't connect
Zinchenko.
there. Ball goes out. Zinchenko disappointed. Belgian goal kick coming up here in the last minute of regulation. The dying embers of
How did he not get that touch? That failed him.
Yeah.
That's one you actually back Zinchenko to get. And there it is. Lukaku's off.
Openda. If this was a knockout tournament and you're waiting this long to bring in Openda, that would be a bad move. But I think Belgium are going to be okay if they can just see it out for the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Ukraine haven't been able to get too many chances to test Castiles beyond that when that was on the goal line.
Get there. Keep pressing. There you go. Openda just offers that breath of fresh air, that little bit of spark. 3. Yep, we were spot on.
Yeah.
Oh, 4.
Oh, 4.
Okay.
All right. So
some hope for Ukraine.
Last roll of the dice for Ukraine. Nothing going on Romania, Slovakia wise. So far, Romania first, Belgium second, Slovakia third. Belgium.
No, that's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. Carrasco's going to milk it, but that's not
also,
a PK.
Hungary would still have to wait for Group F's games to see if they advance.
Yep. Good. Out wide again.
Out wide
again. All by himself.
Whoa!
No! That was it.
I don't think they're going to get a better chance than that, Ukraine.
That was it. A solo run from the midfield.
Yeah, they found the window of opportunity, and now that window.
That shot has to be a better target, a better.
Sadokov. Gutting. Oh man.
They may get one more shot at this, but that was their best chance by far.
That's going to be the best shot they're going to get, barring a Belgian mistake. Oh, that almost got ugly there.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. I don't think that's.
No, but I meant like when both of them were out of play.
Yeah.
That they might crash into it, and Openda might have gotten a boot to the head.
Carrasco, come on, man. Come on, man.
Carrasco with the dark arts from his time with Simeone. I'm sure Simeone, if he's watching the Copa America, he's loving some of the physicality.
Oh God, I think Los Colchoneros in general, fans of the club, are probably just used to it. You know, this is CONMEBOL through and through.
Yep. Like Atletico Madrid probably wishing that they could play in the Copa Libertadores.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is their bread and butter. All right, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, 2 minutes of the 4 have been elapsed of the stoppage time. If this is it for Ukraine, obviously not great considering they lost 3-0 to Romania, and they're the only team of this group when many picked them to advance to be eliminated. But considering all the circumstances, getting to this tournament is a plus. They got to win in their second game. They gave their fans something to cheer for. And everything these players have been going through with their friends and family back home, not knowing what every day brings, they're still very much inspirational. And it's not the last we're going to see from Ukraine. We could see them in the World Cup, and we could see a lot of these talented players in the Premier League and La Liga and Serie A. So the story is not over here for Ukraine. No, thank you, Siri.
Is so upset, man. He's so upset at his teammates not understanding how to kill a game off.
Siri, thank you. Man, Siri activated there. My bad.
It's a goal kick. It's a goal kick.
All right, 30 seconds left.
They get one more shot, maybe.
The nerd in me is loving that we're going to get this 4-4-4-4 group formation. This is the stuff that, memes are made of.
How did he mistrap that?
All right, Ukraine get the throw in, but they got to act fast, and they're
Full
not going to
time.
have that
That's
help
it.
them out.
That's it. The game's over.
Oh man,
There it is.
that's it.
Ukraine,
Wow.
bow out.
All right.
Wow.
Unfortunate for Ukraine, they
Wow.
got a result against Belgium before the tournament. If Ukraine could get a point against Belgium, that would have been big, but it just wasn't enough. Fine margins in this group. Credit to
Yeah.
Romania, though. Well done. Even bigger news than Austria winning their group. That is a big turnout for them. So Romania will play their opponent to be determined on Tuesday, July 2nd in Munich in that early game. We know that France will play against Belgium in so far the biggest fixture of the round of 16. We
Yep.
don't know where Slovakia are going, but we do know that Slovakia are going through. I'm not going to say Ukraine are the biggest disappointments of the Euro 2024. I think that would be harsh on them, but they will be disappointed just simply that they shot themselves in the foot with that opening match. But good display today. It just wasn't enough overall. Fine margins in this group.
Yeah.
4 points across the board when 4 points usually gets you out into the knockout stage.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's insane. I don't think anybody had Romania topping this group. I think it's one that we will all be following closely as they get ready for the knockout rounds. We'll see how far this team can actually go. Belgium getting in by the skin of their teeth. I think that anything short of this would have been considered failure on every level for Belgium.
Right.
So they're in. We'll see how they match up against a very stacked France side, but. Yeah, man. What a stream today, by the way, Ivan. Thank you so much for joining, bro. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me. Hopefully, I'll come by another time, but this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And guys, for anybody who came to the channel today, thank you so much for hopping in the stream. We appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, man, like the video, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel tonight for Copa America. Mexico takes on Venezuela. We have goal sided. Omar and Cesar from goal sided.
Yes, goal sided. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Happy to see them join the party tonight.
Yep.
Really hopeful for Mexico to get a result against Venezuela because Venezuela did a great job beating Ecuador, but a big part of that was Ecuador played an hour in that game down to player. So Mexico, this is a golden opportunity, despite your struggles, to beat Venezuela. Then you have a great chance of topping that group, which is big because that means you avoid Argentina and potentially a date against Canada, a chance for redemption from that World Cup qualifier loss in the snow to set things right, to set the pecking order back to Mexico as that second best team, at least in CONCACAF. So,
yeah.
Vámonos, Mexico. Get it done.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll see what happens. But Omar and Cesar will be on the channel tonight, lads. They'll be the ones hosting. I'll just be in the crowd like everybody else. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And if you enjoyed my observations, you can find me on Instagram at IvanTheWriter95. I recently posted an article talking about San Jose Earthquakes and their disappointing loss to Portland, which looks slightly less disappointing considering they would then lose to LAFC 6-2. Their manager, Lucian Gonzalez, is fired. My YouTube channel, Tectonic Takes, we talk about MLS, specifically San Jose Earthquakes, with the likes of Favi, Abel, Saz, Abram, and Devin. So we're happy to be here with Goals TV as well. And thank you for having me, Jose. And I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely, man. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it.
All right. All right.